Alright, solving linear equations. So, you're going to finish this worksheet. Here's the notes how to do it. Alright, first, we need to get x alone. So I'll draw the line down. So I drew a line down and I boxed in the x. So I need to get that x alone. So I have a 3 and a 0.5. But before I do that, let's do this. Let's get rid of the decimals. So I can multiply everything by 10 to move the decimals over. So this will become 30x plus 5 equals 125. Now let's start solving my steps. I'll do my steps in red. So subtracting 5 from both sides, subtracting 5, and I have what's left. Well, those 5's cancel, and I have 30x equals 120. And now I divide by 30. X equals 4. So anytime you have a decimal, you can multiply by 10 as long as you multiply to each term. I multiplied this 10 to that term, and that term. Alright, you guys to try. I'll pause here. $20x plus 1 equals 121. So here's all the work. And x equals 6. So I'll pause here so you guys can copy this down and check your work. Alright, let's look at this problem. So once again, I want to get x alone. So I'll draw my line down. And I have to get rid of 7 and negative 1/4. So let's subtract 7 from both sides. So I'll be left with negative 1/4 x equals, that cancels out, 12 minus 7 is 5. So how do I get rid of the fraction? I multiply by reciprocal. Anytime there's a fraction, I can multiply by the reciprocal. So this is this step. I'm going to multiply by negative 4 over 1, and multiply by negative 4 over 1. Alright? So these cancel, and these cancel, and I'm left with x equals 5 times negative 4, that's really what I'm doing, negative 20. Okay? So there's those steps. I'll pause here. So now you guys try. I'll pause here and then I'll show you the work. First step is this. Then there are your steps. Alright, I'll pause here. Let's look at a problem like this where the x, I'll make the x in black so we can look at it. We have 2x minus 2. So we have a decimal again. So why don't we multiply everything by 10 just to get rid of the decimal? Alright, so my new equation will be 35 equals, I'll draw the line down to 20x minus 20. Alright, so let's do the same steps as before, where I'm going to get rid of, I have to get the x alone. So first I add this 20 that's being subtracted, so it'll be 55 equals 20x, then divide by 20. Divide by 20. So x will equal 55 over 20, but we have to reduce this. So I could divide by 5. So this equals 55 divided by 5 is, okay, so this would be my answer. I'll pause here. Alright, so this is in your book. My first move would be distribute. So I distribute, so it'll be 3x minus 6 equals 8. B, add 6 to both sides. So I add 6. So 3x equals 14. C, divide by 3. So x equals 14 over 3. Alright, those are your steps. Pause here. Last but not least, this problem. So I subtract 1. Let me draw my line down. Subtract 1. So I'm left with 2/3 x equals 8. Now to get rid of this, multiply by reciprocal. Okay? So x would equal 8 over 1 times 3 over 2, which equals, okay? I'm going to let you guys solve now.